It was a crisp autumn morning, the kind where the leaves danced across the schoolyard and the air carried both the chill of change and the warmth of possibility. At the front gate of Riverview High, students poured in with laughter, chatter, and the occasional groan of Monday blues. Among them was Ethan Walker, a man who stood out not because of his appearance, but because of the aura he carried. He wasn't a student, but a father, one whose presence commanded respect without needing to say a word. Ethan was a soldier. Once deployed overseas, now living a quieter life, though his heart was still scarred by memories of war. His wife had passed years ago in a tragic accident, leaving him to raise his teenage daughter, Lily, alone. For Ethan, every school morning was more than a routine, it was a promise to his late wife that he would protect their daughter no matter what. As he stood by his old pickup truck, watching Lily head toward the school doors, something caught his attention. A group of boys had cornered a girl near the side of the building. She looked younger, maybe Lily's age. Her books were scattered across the pavement, and the ringleader of the group, a tall boy with a smirk that oozed arrogance, was holding one of her notebooks above her head, laughing cruelly. The girl's eyes welled with tears, but she held her ground, refusing to beg. The bullies sneered, pushing her shoulder, daring her to fight back. Ethan's instincts kicked in. He had seen cruelty before, in battlefields and in the broken faces of soldiers who had lost hope. But there was something about seeing a young girl being humiliated in broad daylight that pierced deeper than any battlefield wound ever had. He stepped forward, his boots heavy against the pavement. "Hey!" His voice was sharp, firm, carrying the authority of a man who had given orders to troops in life-or-death moments. The laughter stopped instantly. The boys froze, startled by the commanding presence of this stranger. Ethan knelt down, picking up the girl's books with surprising gentleness for someone whose hands had once carried weapons. He handed them back to her, his voice softer now. "You okay?" The girl nodded, though her lips trembled. "Why, yes. Thank you." The bully scoffed. "Mind your business, old man. This is just a joke." Ethan turned his gaze to the boy, and though he didn't raise his voice, the weight of his stare was enough to make the teenager shift uncomfortably. "Bullying isn't a joke. You'll realize that one day, hopefully before it's too late." The group scattered, muttering under their breath, but Ethan knew they wouldn't dare try again in that moment. He turned back to the girl, offering a faint smile. "Stick close to the main building next time, all right?" She gave a small nod before hurrying inside, clutching her books like a lifeline. What Ethan didn't know, however, was that this girl wasn't just any student. She was Samantha Hayes, the daughter of General Richard Hayes, one of the highest-ranking and most respected figures in the military. The day passed, but word of the incident spread quickly through the school. Lily later told her father at dinner, "Dad, do you realize who that girl was? That's the general's daughter. Everyone's talking about it." Ethan was surprised, but shrugged it off. To him, she was just a kid who needed help. Still, he didn't realize that this simple act of kindness was about to change not only his life, but the lives of everyone around him. The next day, Ethan was called into the principal's office. At first, he worried that maybe his stepping in had caused trouble. Sitting in the office was General Hayes himself, a towering man in uniform, his presence intimidating yet dignified. "Mr. Walker," the general said, his voice steady. "I heard about what you did yesterday. You helped my daughter." Ethan straightened, unsure of what to say. "Sir, I only did what anyone would have done." The general studied him carefully. "Not everyone steps in. Most people look away. But you didn't." He paused. "My daughter, she's strong, but she's been struggling since we moved here. I can't thank you enough." Samantha, sitting beside her father, gave Ethan a shy smile. "Thank you, Mr. Walker." Ethan nodded. "Just Ethan is fine. And you're welcome. You deserve to feel safe at school." But the challenges were far from over. The bullies didn't disappear, they came back with more cunning. They spread rumors, posted cruel notes, and even tried to isolate Samantha further. Lily, being Ethan's daughter, also became a target for standing up with her. Ethan noticed the change in both girls, Samantha's silence at lunch, Lily's fake smile when she came home. It was a different kind of battlefield, one fought with words and whispers instead of guns and grenades. Ethan felt powerless at times. He could stand up to the bullies in person, but he couldn't erase the damaged words left behind. He began spending evenings talking with both girls, reminding them of their worth, teaching them resilience. Courage, he told them one night as they sat around the kitchen table, isn't the absence of fear. It's standing tall even when fear tries to break you. You don't fight bullies by becoming like them, you fight them by refusing to let them control your heart. Those words began to sink in. Slowly, Samantha and Lily found strength in each other. They formed a small group of friends who also felt outcast, creating a circle of kindness that began to shine through the darkness the bullies had created. The turning point came during the school's annual assembly. The bully leader, emboldened by the crowd, tried to humiliate Samantha on stage by mocking her in front of everyone. But before he could, Lily stood up, her voice loud and unwavering. That's enough. You don't get to tear people down just to feel big. The auditorium went silent. Samantha, trembling at first, joined her. We're not afraid of you anymore. The crowd, once spectators, began to clap, hesitant at first, then louder, until the bully was left standing alone, his power stripped away by the unity of those he tried to control. Ethan, watching from the back, felt tears sting his eyes. Not from sadness, but from pride. His daughter and Samantha had faced the storm and come out stronger. Later, the general approached Ethan once more. You didn't just protect my daughter. You taught her courage. You reminded me that even as a soldier, I can't always shield her, but she can learn to shield herself. Ethan smiled humbly. Sometimes the hardest battles aren't fought overseas. They're fought right here, in our schools, in our hearts. The general extended his hand. You're a good man, Ethan. The world needs more fathers like you. As weeks turned into months, the bullying faded, replaced by a culture of respect that spread through the school. The girls continued to grow, stronger and braver, carrying Ethan's words with them like armor. And Ethan, once a soldier who thought his battles were behind him, realized his mission was far from over. His mission was kindness, courage, and raising the next generation to fight with compassion instead of cruelty. Final message for viewers. Friends, this story reminds us that heroes aren't just found on battlefields. Sometimes, they're single dads, teachers, or even students who choose to stand up for what's right. One act of courage can change a life. Speech Balloon, tell me in the comments, what would you do if you saw someone being bullied? And if this story touched your heart, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Be kind always. Together, let's spread kindness, one story at a time.